Hi, my name is Andrew McWilliams, and this is my Cumulative Leadership Integration Project. To begin, this course has taught me so much about myself and my leadership style. It brought light to my strengths and weaknesses as a leader. To begin this talk about what I have learned, I will begin with the leadership test that we took at the beginning of this semester. This test gave me the title of campaigner, and it really broke down and described my leadership style in a way that I never really thought of. It was really cool because I always thought of myself as this type of leader, but I never had the words or education to actually put it onto paper. Basically, a campaigner is a true free spirit with a strong will and moral basis of living. Basically, I have things that I want to stand for, and I'm not going to break away just because someone tells me how to do it. These types of people try to get the most out of every opportunity. However, their minds move at such a fast pace that it's hard to stay on one subject matter for too long. Literally, it was like reading about myself. It was crazy. These types of people also, due to having strong emotions and values, can tend to lead towards feelings over facts sometimes. In the test, I got like a 56% emotion and then like a 44% factual, so that's where that basis. I never really want to tell people that they're wrong to their face. I've never really liked confrontation, but this enlightened me in a way that like I need, in order to be a leader, I have to learn about how to deal with confrontation, how to be professional around it. Overall, this test really broke down my strong points and highlighted my potential weaknesses. These included emotional decision-making, lack of confrontation experience, and my weakness to repetitiveness. Moving forward in my career and in my life, I really can't see myself doing the same thing every single day. That's why I got into healthcare management, because every single day is something new. There's always something new to learn. There's always continued education to have to deal with. There's always new people coming in and out, new ways of doing practice, new ways of medicine. It's just always changing and evolving, which is what I want. I can't do the same thing every day, so that's where. But in anything professional, you have to be able to do the same thing every day. Like at my job, I have to do banking reconciliation forms, and that's doing the same thing every month, going through numbers. That stuff I don't like to do, but I have to do better about staying focused and making sure I do it right. That way it doesn't look unprofessional if I do it wrong. I connected this test that I took to the Big Five personality framework from Judge et al. 2002. Within this framework, my test connected me to extroversion within the Big Five. This trait tends to show more comfortability in groups, outgoingness, and great leadership qualities overall. That was where that connection came in, so it really was cool to see like I'm on the right track. Upon further examination, it really showed me what type of leader I would best fit into. It gave me the extroversion, and I liked the way that looked, and so it gave me a framework to work up towards. I want to be that type of leader. How do I go about becoming that type of leader? This course also allowed me to examine other great leaders like Satya Nadella, I might not be pronouncing that right, the CEO of Microsoft. In this examination, I learned about LMX theory and its importance in great leadership qualities. High LMX traits really exemplify the connection of leaders and their team members. There's a lot of open communication, teamwork, and most important to me, the personal relationships that are formed. These types of leaders aren't just, hey, I'm your boss, you're gonna do this. Whenever I leave work, don't talk to me if you see me out. No, like these people, they're treating people like people, which is what people want. Like especially where I work, I get to see that firsthand. Our practice manager treats everyone like a person. Things come up, whatever, like we're gonna figure it out. And I really like that, and that's just how I think a lot of great leaders are. So high LMX was something really cool to learn about. These types of leaders really bring out the best in their teams, and it can really help team goals actually come to life. Nadella really gave a great example of how to apply LMX theory into practice, and it showed me how I can replicate it in my own way someday. I also learned about LLX and lateral connections through Nadella and his leadership style. LLX shows how leaders also make sure to create great relationships with their supervisors in order to streamline their team's objectives and overall effectiveness. So LMX is leader, their group, LLX is leader, and their leaders. There's only so much me as a leader can do if I'm not at the top of the chain. So just increasing connection all the way up and down helps my goals and my team's goals actually come to life, because there's gonna be things I need to ask about. And get like acceptance into. Lateral connections help create a great culture within a team. So we were like viewing cultures of a team. Lateral connections is the best way to create great culture within a team. These types of connections help to break hierarchical motives and trends. So it's not like, hey, you ask me, then you ask this guy, then you ask this guy. No, it's like we're all a team. We're going to figure it out together. Tangarella, I think is how you say it, 2007 explains how lateral connections help leaders to better align their teams across the board. So that connection I was talking about, that fluidness, that effectiveness, all comes from things like LMX, and lateral connections. Overall, I loved learning about the importance of LMX, LLX, and lateral connections and their role in leadership. Martin et al. 2006 also supports these ideas I learned by explaining how high LMX can improve job morale, team performance, and overall commitment from the group. To wrap up my leadership journey in this course, I couldn't not talk about my 7-day leadership experiment where I challenged myself to learn something new every day at work, whether it was a new workflow, basically just get out of my comfort zone, not going in there doing the motions and then leaving. Like, no, I'm there to learn, and I want something more than a bullet on my resume. This experiment showed me the importance of continued education and learning. All great leaders are always evolving and learning, and in order to be one of them, I have to be willing to improve every single day. Harari et al. 2021 explained how behavioral focus strategies improve self-regulation through goal setting and self-observation. I practiced basically exactly that in my experiment. I set personal goals every day to learn something new at work and got to see firsthand how these goals were rewarded in such a short window. For example, one of the days I worked, I asked to learn how to finally open the practice by myself, how to disalarm the security codes, how to actually get in so I could do some work that I hadn't been able to do and then close it all up. That same week, I was able to put it into practice. I got taught that day, and then that Saturday I got to come in, did everything right, did it the right way. So now I know another different type of very small workflow. And something whenever I first got hired there, one of the doctors I worked for, he said one of the best things to do in a business is to learn so many different small things and learn how to do it. That way you basically can never get fired, because I'm going to be the guy doing this, and that, and that. And if I were to apply that in whatever career I end up going into after that, it's only good for me. So that really firsthand showed how breaking my daily cycle and getting out of my comfort zone, I can learn more every single day. Pelez et al. 2020 also strengthened these ideas by examining how self-leadership is strengthened from self-regulation. I regulated my daily goals, regulated my daily workflow, which helped me focus on leading myself, and I was able to see outcome and new skills. In order to be a great leader overall, you have to be able to lead yourself, which was cool to actually put into practice. Overall, I really enjoyed taking this course and getting to dive deep into what leader I am and what leader I want to be. I love taking a step back to learn about my leadership style and to learn how to actually set in motion the things that I need to work on, because I never really knew what I needed to work on. These tests, projects, examinations, it all put on a paper what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. It was cool to be able to learn about it all. Thank you so much for listening to my video, and thank you so much for an amazing class. Thank you.